you go into Google Docs, you take your information, you put it in here, and of course you want to make it look a little pretty. And so I put the logo on here, we put a graphic on here, and again, just make the colors match with our brand color. It lets them know at the end of it that all parts of this is a free download, that all parts of this free download actually belong to True Creatives, that this is being provided for informational purposes and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and download this because I'm going to show y'all what we're going to do with this later. So a checklist will be one of the very first type of products, that digital products that we can create. The next product that we can create is an ebook. So these are different ebooks, right? And so these ones, I'll get into the platform and all of those things later. But the one that I really want to show you guys is how do we create this? So you take an ebook, you take a digital product, you turn it into an ebook, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second, and then we'll make it live somewhere else so that you can go and sell it. All right, so we talked about a checklist. Now let's get into a ebook. So an ebook, I use Canva to create. So if you want to see what the actual ebook looks like, let's kind of open that up. But that's the second digital product that you can create. So this is an ebook. And this ebook, and like people really do be sleeping on ebooks, but I realize just that you have different type of learners. And so one of the key things I like to do is, if I'm going to create a digital product, if I'm going to have an ebook to it, then I like to have a visual with it, or I like to give you access to the community where you get access to videos like this, because sometimes people do not want to take the time to read the ebook, or they just want to, breeze through it, and they never actually finish it or any of those things. And so I'll get into how we add visuals and keep people engaged on top of the ebooks, but again, just showing you what another digital product is. So this ebook is like any other book. It's just a digital book. That's what an ebook is. The same way you would go into Barnes and Noble and see a book or any of those things, this is the same exact thing, but it is a digital version. So this one specifically is about businesses that are getting started and really that are just growing, because a lot of businesses who are already started and established don't have a lot of these things, right? And so here we go. This is what the digital book actually looks like. You're breaking down. And so this one is just very detailed. They don't have to be this long. But again, you're giving them something to do, something to interact. Now, my ebooks, I always say like my ebooks are different than everyone else's because I do a lot of interactive content in it. So you get other like QR codes and things of that nature. But again, this is how you create an ebook. This is what an ebook look like. So we talked about checklists being a digital product. We talked about ebooks being a digital product. Now let's go into where you actually create those ebooks. So this is Canva. This is one that gets talked about often. There are several different ways. Like you can create an ebook right here inside of Google Docs, the same way that we did here with the checklist. But if you want to get a little bit more fancy, you can go over here to Canva to actually create your ebook. Now, when you open up Canva, hi, you're not understanding. Okay, so give me 1 second, you guys. So right now I am doing a live training inside of my private community, you guys. And so if they're in the live training, they are actually getting visuals. So I'm going live to share that with you. If you are interested in joining that live training, I can definitely give you guys the link so that you can join the membership and you can get access to the visuals as well. So I would say visit 500lives.shop. The link is also right in my YouTube bio. And you'll be able to join as soon as you purchase, you get your access, you'll be able to join and see the visuals with it. What you're seeing right now is, or what you're hearing right now is me perform that live workshop for the group. And so what we're going over today is digital products. If you have questions about digital products, what they look like, how to market them, how to create them, any of those things, go ahead and drop them in the chat and I'll go over those things as I'm going on. But my privilege, my attention, my focus, if you're just joining in, will be on my members and getting this information out to them. All right, so going back into where we created. So we're using Canva. So we already talked about doing that checklist. Now we're on to creating that digital product, like that ebook, and Canva is where you do it. Now, what does this look like, True? How do I build something like this if I'm starting from scratch, right? So what we would do is we would go, when you come into Canva, it looks like home. So we'll go here and we'll click on create a design. And you have different options here, but we're just gonna do ebook. We'll go with ebook cover because it'll be that sized correctly. Okay, and so once it's sized and you are in here, you have a couple of options. Now, you can use the Canva pre-templates. I do not recommend that, especially when you are reselling it, because that is someone else's commercial property. So I do, if you do use a design or use a template that already exists, I always suggest make your edits, put your own spice onto it, things of that nature. Now, typically this is one that I would just do from scratch, like the one I just showed you, I did from scratch. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to use a template. So we're going to use this one here. And again, you would just go in and edit it. So let's say that this book is going to be about stocks. So we're just going to do stocks 101. Learn basic stock strategies. Right? And you can always, these are like drag and drop. So I'm just going to give you a basic as to like where to find these things, where to find your tools, how to use your tools, all of those things. So if you are looking to change your font, of course, that'll be up here. This is where you could change all of your different fonts. You could change what the words actually look like, things of that nature. Of course, the same, your coloring will be up here. But what I would like to show you is if you go into design, right, and you click on styles, one of the cool things about Canva is they have something called brand, meaning that you can upload your logo, you can upload all of your different things, and you will be able, like your logo, your fonts, your color palettes, all of those things, and you can utilize those. And so if I wanted to just change this directly to the colors of True Creatives, I will click that. If I wanted to add our logo in here, I will click on our logo and decide, okay, well, which version of the logo do I want to use, and so forth, right? And so, again, I'm just literally throwing things on the screen just to show you how things work or how things move. But this is where you would build your digital product. And so now when you're ready for your next page, you would come in, you would add your text, your graphics, things like that. So you have text over here, you have your elements, which are different, like stickers, things of that nature. Let's say I wanted to put something about stocks. I'm going to write the word stocks here. Okay. And let's say this was the graphic that I wanted to use, because I'm going to be talking about buying and selling stocks. And then I would just go in and write my information here. How to buy stocks. And I would essentially just build it from there. Like I would build my actual ebook. When I'm finished with that, once I have my book all together, I have all of my pages designed, I have all of the information that I wanted on there, I have the designs together, I've looked over it, all of those things. What we're going to go to do is you're going to move into the space of actually sharing it. So let's say this is that same one. You're going to export it. So if you're doing a checklist, so I'm going to go back a little bit. If you're doing a checklist, this is one form of a digital product. You create your checklist, you use something like Google Docs, you'll use something like Word document, something of that nature. Get that checklist together, make it into a PDF, share it out. When you share it out, you're literally going to hit share. Or actually, I'm sorry. No, this is if I'm sharing it with someone else. You're going to hit file. You're going to hit file, and you're going to hit download, and you're going to hit PDF. So we're turning this live document into a PDF, and we would save it onto our computer. We're going to follow those same steps over here with our workbook. We came in, we took all of that information that we have in our notes in our phone, inside of our notebooks, and this applies. Let me go back a bit. This applies to every industry. All the time we talk about having multiple streams of income, all of those things. And all of these things are great. I think it's so loud in like media and things of that nature because it's a lot of people who are just now getting the information of getting the information or getting wind to like being able to have financial freedom, to be able to take something that you've known or you're great at and things of that nature and turn it into something that you can be compensated for or something you can profit off of. And then there's also that mixture of like people's personal emotions. Oh, you should just give this information away for free. You should help people, all of these things. And so what I want you to focus on is like really silencing the noise and deciding, what is it that I do? What is it that I'm great at? How is it that I make money now? And how can I build off of those things? Meaning that you don't necessarily have to go out and start something totally brand new, right? You can start with what you have and what you know and execute on those very things. So if you're a music artist and you already have a fan base or you already have people who are listening to you, intrigued with you, whatever, supporting you, liking, commenting, stopping you, listening to your music, whatever, you should be looking at, okay, well, where is this audience coming from? Where does this audience live? What is it that they like? What is it about my music or my style that they like? And so let's say your thing is going to say, I'm going to start a t-shirt line. You can go on something like Printify or something of that nature and start a t-shirt line. We'll get into that a little bit in a little bit on the visual side, right? You can go and create a digital product like we're talking about right now and say, this is how, you got started. Literally your basic steps. Did you do your ASCAP? Do you have a BNI number? Like all of those things. Like what process did you take to start monetizing off of your music? What process did you take to stream your music? There are so many other artists who are just getting started who want to know those same things. And so you might be someone who works a 9 to 5. You're in HR, right? And you like been in this field for 10, 15 years, 2 years. You get what I'm saying? But you understand how this process works. You understand what human resource needs, what tools you need, what software you need, what process and system you need to follow. Like you have a system that gets results. And that's what the big thing is. What reward am I giving? What pleasure am I giving? What result am I giving? What problem am I solving? And that's what all digital products or physical products or services are doing. It's solving a problem or it's allowing something to be done in an easier way, right? And so what you can do if you're that 9 to 5er, again, you don't have to quit your 9 to 5 just to create a digital product and make a few extra dollars. I'm going to show some different numbers. On average, this year, I've probably averaged about I've averaged about $500 a month this year. And is it a whole lot? No, like I'm not a social media influencer. I am a business owner and I have slow months, right? But there are months where I get $1,000 for 2 minutes of my time. But then there are times where the digital products are the only things that's selling, or the strategy costs are the only things that's selling. And so the thing is, having your portfolio diversified in a way where it doesn't take so much time and energy from yourself, and you're able to put a lot of these things on autopilot. So going back to what it is that I was speaking about. So we talked about the checklist. We're talking about the ebooks. And now let's go into exporting that ebook and going into the third product and where those live at. So when we're exporting this, we're just going to hit this share button here and you're going to download it. Now, if you have like animated graphics or something on your ebook, it will try to download as a MP4. The thing about Canva, you can create GIFs MP4 videos, SVGs, which is like great for web design and things of that nature. And if you look at these little pieces down here, it'll tell you what you can use it for: JPEG, PNG. And so we're gonna do this as a PDF because we're gonna print this. Like, this will be printed off. So this is best for like digital use, but I'm gonna put it on CMYK because what this allows me to do by utilizing these specific settings, right? This allows me to not only produce this digital product and place it on my website or places like Gumroad or inside of my Instagram shop or on, any of these Facebook Marketplace, TikTok store. It allows me to not only put these things there, but it allows me to where now I can go and actually post this or print this at somewhere like Staples or any of those things, and now I can sell my physical product as well. So you will hit download, and now I'm going to jump into that next one. So now we have a PDF of our checklist. We have an ebook that we created and we saved, and those are our first two forms of our digital product. Now, our next things we're going to go into are communities and courses. So I want to kind of break down the difference really quickly. A community is going to be that space where everybody is going to be coming in at different levels, right? Some people might be just getting started. Some people might be, be a little experienced in whatever it is that you're teaching them. And some people might be like ready to pass it off and hire you to just do it for them, or, show them your system or whatever the case may be. And so you in a community, there's going to be ways that you can identify that, whether it's like quizzes, feedback, polls, things of that nature. But the community is really just a general space for you to be able to dump value. Organize is better, but dump value on your audience. And it gives you your freedom back a little bit to where now, if you're a service provider, you don't have to spend that much one-on-one time. We're executing or shifting ourselves from one-to-one to one-to-many, meaning I don't have to just get paid by spending my time with this one person. I can also get paid by giving it to a lot of people at one time. And so you have multiple different options when it comes to building a community. I love platforms like the Thinkific, Gumroad, other platforms that I'm going to show you. This one is the Band app, so that's another one that you can use. They do have a lot of different features in here, but what I will say about Band, it's not as organized as some of the other platforms that I use for communities, but it does have a lot of features that I like. And so one of the things with softwares is that oftentimes it's difficult to find one that has everything in it that you need or that you want to have in it or whatever. So it just it helps to keep your options open is what I'm saying. And so a community is going to be a place where you could come to find the information, talk to other people, things of that nature. So let's say if someone was just coming in here, you want them to start here. You want to have a process, right? You want to have a process for this is what you do first, this is what you do second, this is what you do third, things of that nature. And so the first thing we ask people to do is to go ahead and complete the survey so that we know where you are in your business and so forth. And then, of course, there's other resources you can move around within here. So a community is that place that your audience is going to go to connect with each other, ask you different questions, get information, get feedback, things of that nature. Now, a course is a little bit different. So we'll take a look at a few courses. Let's see. So a course is going to be different because the course is more so self-paced. Usually it's pre-recorded content, meaning you only have to sit down and do this one time. So this is a digital product that you took the time to create some videos on, create some lessons on. Maybe you have a few quizzes, things of that nature. But this is that digital product that you're going to use because you're like, I have a lot of information. It's segmented off. It's different categories. It's not just one straight shot thing that I'm giving. And I want to be able to actually break this up and get this to my audience, right? But I want them to do it at their own pace. I don't want them to be rushed or any of those things. Well, Thinkific is one of those platforms that you can use to create courses. So currently I have 3 courses up. I have the AI for Beginners, Virtual Assistant Training, and then the Unlock Your Gift, How to Grow Your Gift course. Now, these courses are all things that live in other places, but this is where I originally tested. So when you go to do a course, it typically will look something like this. So this is the platform. So this goes back to when we talked about marketing it. Where do I market it? Where does it live? We'll dive into the lessons of how to build these and all of that in just a moment. But just knowing what it looks like. My course, meaning this is where they're going to come to actually sign up and so forth. This is where they're going to learn about what this course is about, and so forth. Now let's go to our products. Or excuse me, my dashboard. What does it look like inside the course? It's kind of one of those things. And so when the people come, they'll start here. And so again, it's a compilation of videos. And then you'll be able to go in. This video is an instruction on telling them how to use the course. So then we'll have a survey before we get started. And then they'll go into the next thing. So now we're going into why. So this specific course is literally telling people this is how you unlock your gift. This is a free course. It's available at tca.thinkific.com. But it was literally to start off and say like, hey, I was in this space to say, I know I have a lot of valuable information to give people on how they can grow their business, whether they're like in the idea phase and they're looking to take that idea and execute on that idea. If they've already started and they're just having some stuck points, I know that there are usually tools or systems. Now, can I help every business? Absolutely not. But there are a lot of businesses where this same thing applied, that foundation still applied, those systems still apply. And so, again, I knew there was that space. And then it was that space of being like, okay, I want to touch business owners who just want to delegate it to me because that's one of my end goals. But I had to take all of these different 3 components of my business and who it was that I was serving and say, what's the general thing there? Like, what's at the core? And to me, I came up with the gift. Like, the gift is that general thing. That's the thing we all have in common. We all have a gift that we are looking to give out or expel into the world, and essentially, give someone else value with it, but also profit with it, or allow it to like reap the fruits of our labor, essentially. And so I decided to put out a free course about unlocking your gift, because I realized a lot of people that came to me, they didn't know. Like, they were like, okay, I'm just doing this because. And so again, this course walks them through that. It talks them through the why, the what, the how. There's bonus slides in here. There's ways for them to actually test their learning by completing a quiz. And so once they're done with that, they get to confirm it, go on to the next one. And at the end of this, what they get is an actual like certificate of completion. While they're completing the course, throughout that time, they can share it out on their social media platforms, share their achievements, all of those things. Another marketing tactic. That is marketing. When you get people involved in the product, in the digital product, in the service that you already are providing, and they are giving you feedback, 1, that's word of mouth from their end. But then 2, it's also that thing of you can take that feedback and share it out on landing pages, things of that nature. And we'll get into that in a moment. Even if you're out in public and you're networking and you're talking to people, that's real feedback. You can say, this is who I am, this is what I've done, and so forth. And here's the results that I have produced. So this is what it looks like on the consumer's end. So if there was someone who was enrolled inside of the course, that is what it would look like. Now, you as a creator, you're going to look a little, yours is going to look a little different. Now, what I want you guys to, this is Thinkific, but I'm grandfathered into Thinkific to where, I don't don't need, like, my first 3 courses are completely free. Their platform has changed where that's not what they offer. So the one that I'm going to recommend if you're just getting started and you just want to test your course is going to be the, why did I just draw a blank? Teachable. Teachable is what I'm going to recommend. If you're just getting started and you're like, okay, I want to put up a course. I know that this is the digital product that I want to go with. Teachable and Thinkific both have communities as well. So the way that I look at it is you should choose a software that can grow with your company. So if they have a free version and you're like, I'm just getting started, I want to test this out, start there. But look at what options do they offer as you grow. What will it look like when you have 20, when you have 10, when you have 50 members, when you have 100 members, when you have 1,000 members? Is that something that aligns with who you are, what it is that you want to provide, things of that nature? That free platform or that free plan is going to help you test out their product, get familiar with their site, things of that nature. I love Thinkific. I've been using it for years, but again, you try things like Teachable if you're just getting started. So let's go into the course. I'm just going to open up this one so you can see there's been 26 new accounts, 24 enrollments, and this one was a test platform. So all of these are we're very, very low ticket, like either free or $10 or less. And the goal with that, so let me kind of touch on that a little bit. The goal with being able to launch the course, whether I launch it for free or launch it for a low ticket price, especially when, and there's levels to this, because if you're just getting started and you're testing this idea, you want to do it in that manner because now you're building your contact list, you're building that interest list. People are literally saying it's okay if you continue to market to me. Why? Because I'm giving you the okay. I like what it is you produced here. And so it's okay to do that when you're just getting started. And you can decide, you can say, hey, I'm going to let 5 people into this course, interact with them, give them value, get their feedback, and I'm going to use their feedback to promote it to the rest of the world. And it's not like, oh, I'm faking, I'm lying, or any of those things. No, it's real value that you're getting. It's real results that you're getting, or real information that you're giving to your audience. And then from there, you're just, again, utilizing their feedback to show proof of concept. Hey, I tried this. It worked. Like I was just talking to a friend the other day, and he talked to a mutual associate and gave her valuable information regarding like her skin and just health, like herbs and things of that nature that she was able to use. And she gave him feedback. She gave the feedback to him. She gave the feedback on the group call, and she gave the feedback to me individually, which means that that's marketing. That's her marketing his value that she has to offer, or that he has to offer, right? And so that's word of mouth that's taking place, where that's going to help your audience grow. So just imagine if you had a digital product or a space for that information to live. Now when people talk about it, now it's not just, hey, I talked to this person and they gave me this valuable information and I got this results. Hey, I talked to this person, I listened to what it is that they tell me to do, this was my results. They actually have a course about this where you can go and learn things that apply to you. They break it down in all of these different ways and so forth, right? And so it's essentially saying things that you already naturally talk about, problems that you're already naturally solving, you can put that in one space, and the people you share it with is going to be another marketing aspect or promotional aspect when it comes to getting that out. Because that's one of the questions that a lot of you have been asking, which is like, well, how do I market it? Like, how do I market it? Okay, I put the course together, but how do I market it? And again, we're going to go into like the funnels and the social media content and all of those things and what that looks like. But the very basics of it is create the thing, share it with people, get feedback about the results that that you've provided for them, and then continue to tell people about it. And we'll go deeper into that, and I'll give another example a little bit later. But let's keep going. So this is what the course actually, this is what editing the course looks like. Another question that I had got was regarding like, how do I know how to structure it? I want the structure to be in a certain manner. I want it to look in a certain manner, right? And so that structure, these platforms pretty much build that out for you. Now you do have to plug it in and make it make sense. And so they all typically have templates, and I'll show you that on Teachable what a template looks like when you open it up. But they all have templates, and it pretty much looks like this. So this is the curriculum. So if I'm on the welcome to the course portion, this is the first thing where it's telling me like, hey, I have a video. This is the setup. So you're going to put a title. You're going to upload a video into that space. If you want additional text, or if you want them to be able to download certain files along with that video, you'll put that here. And then here's your settings. Like, you can make this a free preview lesson, meaning they get to actually engage with the first few pieces of the lesson before committing to it. This prerequisite, so again, this one is the free plan, but they do have different options. So making it a prerequisite means that, and I'll tell you how this applies to you. That means that you would be like, hey, you have to take this course before you do anything else. So we talked about stocks and using that as one of the options, right? And so if you were providing a course on stocks, or you're inviting someone into your community on stocks, or giving them an ebook, or whatever the case may be, you can say this is going to be a prerequisite. You can't even join my community if you do not do this specific thing first, right? And so that might look like an introductory video. It might look like teaching them the terminology. It might look like a survey or a quiz of you getting information about where they are in their buying process, how much money they have to invest, all of those things. But you can make a prerequisite. Make this video downloadable. And so meaning that people can, after taking that course, if they like it, they can download it, and so forth, right? And so let's say we wanted to add something to this chapter, and you break it down again into different chapters. So this is the first lesson. So these would be called modules, right? Meaning that in this first module, our focus is going to be the foundation of unlocking your gift. And the next lesson or the next module is going to be actually getting started. What does this process look like? Then the next lesson or the next module, and so forth. And if you wanted to add chapters, I did it twice. It would be here, and you would add that new chapter. Now, a chapter is essentially like that module. So instead of it saying, let's get started, I can put something like next steps, right? And then it's already there. And now if I want to add a lesson to this module, here's all of the different things and features that I can add. I can add a video, I can do a PDF, audio, text, a downloadable file, multiple medias, presentation, I can do a live, a survey, a quiz, an assignment, exam. And then there's even other apps and things like that you can like integrate inside of this. So like this social interactive courses. So it actually combines like the video scheduling, like gamification. So you ever took a course or something and it's like click on this and this will happen, or click on this and to get more information about X, Y, and Z, things like that. And so this is where actually building it. So going back to that structure, when we talked about structure, the platforms you're going to use is going to do that for you. So what is the most important part for you to do? Have your information together in order to know what it is that you want to discuss and who your audience is. So I'm going to pause for a second and give another example. I used to sell food, right? Like Alicia Eats, like did the logo, social media, like used to website, like meal planning, whole thing. Like I had a bar slot where I used to sell food out of the bar, like the whole nine. So I used to sell food. And so last night I seen something and I'm like, okay, I'm about to do this. Like I'm gonna sell some plates, whatever. And I'm like, oh, I could use this as an example on how you can literally take anything, whether it's a digital product, a service, a physical product, anything, and use the same system or a very similar system to make people aware of it, convert, make sales essentially, right? And so this, going back to this, bringing it back to the course, is essentially the same thing. Whether you're selling food, whether you're selling a digital product, you have to start with, who is my target audience? I know, like, who is my target audience? Okay, how do I define my target audience? What problem am I trying to solve? Like, what is the objective here? What problem am I about to solve? Whose life am I about to make easier is a great question. There are a lot of other things that go along with that as well. Like, where do they live? How much money do they have? What do they like to spend their money on? What do they eat? Like, there's a lot of different questions you can analyze to actually figure out who your target audience is. But what I came to the conclusion of understanding by looking at the plates and looking at the courses and looking at all of these things is that if you know what value you came to offer and you know who you're offering the value to, then converting them over just became that much easier. So if you start with the process of saying, hey, I'm going to teach people who are just getting started in stocks about stocks, the next thing I want you to do is make a list. Now, there's several ways you can do this. You might already have an email list if you've already been at this. You might already be in another field that is in investments or something of that nature. And so now you can just piggyback off of that list, or you might just be getting started. And if you're just getting started or not, I want you to make a list of, it really, the number is 100, but you can start with 10. I want you to just dump your brain. How many people do you know would be interested in this? So last night when I thought about the food, I literally said, okay, who did I used to sell food to? Like, who was it that it didn't matter what I cooked, when I cooked, what time of day it was, they were going to buy a plate. And they were going to tell somebody, and they were going to tell their job about it and all of that. Like, who were these people? And so I'm like, if I could just think of 10 names of people who I would sell this to, then I'll do it, right? And before I knew it, I ended up with like 30 something people on the list. And I'm like, okay, boom, my list is together. I know my target audience. I know who I'm gonna push it to. And so that next thing was jumping right on Canva, right? Getting right on Canva and saying, let me organize this information. Let me put the information out there. Let me tell people where they can find the information or how this actually works, how they get it. You know, I have to, now that I've built it, now that I've built that digital product, now that I have the checklist, now that I have the community, now that I have the course, now that I have this value to offer, and I know who I want to offer it to, or even a general idea, because there's still going to be other people that may come along. What do I do next, right? I tell people about it. How do I tell people about it? Again, we talked about word of mouth, also creating flyers, things of that nature. So again, using that same example, here it is. Last night, couple of minutes on Canva, here's the flyer. And I'm not going to post this all throughout social media. Those 30 people that I ended up on that list with, I'm going to send this directly to them, right through a text message or call their phone. And so when we talk about, I created this digital product, True, and I don't know how to put it out or where it should live or any of those things. Well, you created it. It's going to live here on these platforms that's right here on the screen. And you're going to tell people about it by texting them, by calling them, by DMing them, by posting it on social media, by sending out an email, by word of mouth. There's literally, when you go through the ebooks, there's photos, like on Truby's Guide, there's photos of me, like I was out buying food and I took my books with me and I literally just got to talking about it. If you've been following me for a long time, you know my favorite thing is my 5x5 rule. You go at least 5 places per day or at least per week and you see at least 5 people. Tell them what you do. Tell them who you are. Learn who they are. Learn what it is that they do. Things of that nature, because that makes this process of selling your digital products, getting people aware of your digital products, that much easier. You might be out with someone or you might be at a networking event. You gave value to someone, and they love it. You direct them to that. I just had a strategy call the other day with one of my clients who also have a brick and mortar, and we had a call, and we were talking about the direction that she wanted to move in. And one of the strategies I suggested to her was, because you're not providing services during these hours and you still have to be open, which means that it's still costing you money. What if, and on top of that, you have a demand, like people are asking you, how do you do X, Y, and Z? How about you create a workshop? How about you create a workshop where you teach people these specific things? Now, this applies whether you're in a brick and mortar or if it's online, right? Or if it's digital. And so it was like, how about you teach this? Literally 24 hours later, someone DM'd her and asking her, hey, I love what you've been doing. I used to do the same thing. I closed out my brick and mortar. Can you teach me? Can I ask you questions? Basically, can I pick your brain? I want to learn from you. And so she reached out immediately, like, what do I say? What do I do? And I gave her the script to use. This is what you say. And what it is, the script essentially was just saying, thank you for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. I would love to assist you and answer those questions for you. I actually have an online course, or you could book a strategy call with me for $97 or whatever your rate is going to be. Like, it should be based on you actually knowing. And that girl know her stuff. Like, she's been in this for years, so she could charge more than $97 for being on the phone with her for an hour. You have to gauge it based off of what you know, and not that false sense of like you beating yourself up and having that I can't think of the word right now, but like imposter syndrome, like not imposter syndrome, but you truly being like, no, I know my stuff. I've got a result from this. I know I could teach other people how to do this, and so I can charge for this. And so going back into this lesson, this is what you'll need. Once you have that information, you want to record videos on it. So I always recommend starting with a outline. So literally beginners to stocks, introduction to your coach, basic terms or the glossary or something of that nature. Vocabulary, that's what I was looking for. Vocabulary, like breaking down the terms that they'll learn throughout the course. And so forth, and building on to there. I'll go into a second what a drip is and how you don't have to have it all figured out in the beginning, and how you can release these things little by little and still, again, make a profit, make an impact, and provide quality right now with your digital products, right? So once you got that outline, let's say you just get the first 2 or 3 parts done. Once you complete a portion on your outline, the way that I would do it, and this is how we get into that space of executing. I will write that first portion out. This is going to be my intro. Then I'm going to record a video with it. Hey, troops. It's your favorite coach. Hey, troops. It's your favorite project manager. My name is True, and I am going to teach you how to execute today. I know you've been having some struggles inside of your business. I know you've been struggling with actually converting people over to sales, building a sales funnel, all of those great things. And so what I did was I put together a membership. I put together an online course, and I'm doing these live trainings to actually teach you how you can get from point A to point Z. And so follow along, So again, you created your context. You know what it is you're going to talk about. Right after that, you went straight in and recorded a video. You do not need to pay someone millions of dollars, hundreds of dollars, and thousands of dollars to get started, right? Yes, there are going to be times where you grow and you have someone do this for you. I have clients who have literally came to me just to create their courses. Like, I'm the voiceover on their course. I did the graphics on their course. I did the information behind it. Like, I did the entire course. But they market it out and they sell it and they make a profit from that course. And they just have to pay me one time to come in and do all of these things. And so the things we're talking about today is you doing it yourself and you identifying, hey, if I have a phone and lighting and a mic, I can set that up and I can record those videos. The PDF, I can go in Google Docs and put the information right along with it and upload it. So again, you got your PDFs, you got your videos, you got your downloadables, all of those things you want to include, quiz, put it directly inside of here. If you have struggled organizing that information, ChatGPT is your best friend. Do not allow ChatGPT to create the entire course for you and you just copy and paste it and put it in there. You are going to run into 1,000,001 issues if you do that. What you can do is take what your ideas are, take your framework, take the information, the outline you created, and ask ChatGPT to help you organize that. You can say, hey, break this down into a video, a text, and a downloadable piece of content, and so forth. Oh, that's cool. But yeah, so those are all of those things. And on to the next page. On to the next thing. So these also have like landing pages and all of those things that goes with it. So your bulk importer is if you want to actually put information in multiple, if you want to put information in all together, right? And so now we're going to go into your settings. So this is the same thing we talked about before. This is what people are going to see. This is what it like where this is where your branding would come in. So your course name, what it looks like, who's the instructor on there, how are you giving them access, what the image and description looks like, the product description, the course player appearance, and things of that nature. So for those of you who ask, the formatting, what should it look like, all of those things, that is here. Drip allows for you to schedule when your students can access your content. So this one is on a paid feature if you're using Thinkific. We're going to jump over to Teachable, and then also you can manually do these. I don't recommend manually doing these, but I'll say like if you're starting off and you're like, hey, I don't have the overhead or the funds to, pay for this right now, then you can manually do this by just uploading the courses and going in and uploading each lesson at a time, right? But these softwares actually have where you can release it in little segments. So you can say, for example, every 30 days, you're going to release a new chapter. So that means you're giving your audience 30 days to get through chapter 1, to learn the basics about stocks, to learn the basics about all of those things. And then they'll be able to go on to the next lesson. Why is this beneficial to you as a creator? Several reasons. One, if you already have all of your content together and organized, great. Then you can just put it in there, automate it, and you don't have to worry about it. Now you just have to automate your marketing, automate your emails, all of those things, and allow it to just continue to go out. But if you are also building as you go, because remember, I already told you, you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to have a genuine proof of concept, right? You have to have a genuine proof of concept. And so with that being said, yeah, you can build out. You can build on to what you already know by creating a drip. And now the pricing, you get to decide. Do you want it to be free and then they'll be able to expire after, a certain time? Do you want to accept a one-time payment? And then you can decide if you want the duration to be limited, or like how long they get to stay in the course once you have it. If you want it to be forever, then you would just hit the delete and leave this piece blank, right? And so that's that. Once you save all of those things, you got your after purchase. Boop, boop, boop. Meaning that what happens after purchase. So I'm going to jump over to Teachable so that we can kind of go through there. But you have your after purchase when you're here. And then your last thing is to publish it. So you can either draft it, pre-order, or publish. Now let's break this down a little bit while we're on this screen. Draft means that, hey, I'm still working on it. I'm not ready for anybody to know about it, see it, or any of those things. Pre-order means that I'm still building this thing. I'm not ready to launch this thing just yet. Or it doesn't necessarily mean that you're still building it. Maybe you just want time to market it more, right? So I'm not ready to launch this thing just yet, but you can still pay for it right now. Meaning that, let's say your course is $25 or $10,000 or $3,000 or $1,000. Everybody who I work with are at different levels. Like I have people who are $25 a month for their course, and then I have people where it's $8,000 for their course. And so you could decide, do you want to do a pre-order or do you want to just publish it and allow them to do payment arrangements or pay it all in full, things of that nature. Pre-order is going to be great for you testing it out. So let's say you already have your graphics done, you have the landing page created and up for your content, you're marketing it, you have the quiz or the interest surveys and things like that going out. And what you'll be able to do is now see, okay, is this actually making sales? Are people buying into it? Are they filling out the inquiry forms? Are they pre-ordering it? Like, is that happening? Because if they're not pre-ordering it, it gives you time to make adjustments and say, hey, this may not be the thing that I'm ready to launch, or maybe there's something that I have to adjust about launching it, right? Don't get caught up if you do a pre-order and you don't get any interest. That typically means that generally means that there's something you're not doing correctly. Like maybe you're not telling people about it enough. Like I tell people all the time, posting on social media is not enough because everybody does not see it. You have to have a great marketing mix where you are mixing multiple different efforts. You're doing promotions, you're doing advertising, you're doing the word of mouth, like you're doing a combination of things to get the information out. I don't want to be loose and say like you cannot do just one, because there are people who just do cold calls and that's good for them. That's a good lead generation process for them. But when it comes to marketing your digital products, it is something that you want to take the time to actually get out there. So don't be discouraged. Just look at what is it that I'm doing, right? All right, so let's jump off of this. You've kind of seen that. And so I'm going to go into Teachable just to show you what that looks like. But before I do that, I want to introduce you to Gumroad as well. Because when we talked about the checklist, we talked about the ebooks, and we even talked about courses and communities. Gumroad is another place where those things can live. Gumroad is also amazing, going back to those pre-orders, because they have something called an affiliate program where any product you create, people can sign up to become an affiliate of yours where they can sell your products for you and they make a portion. And Gumroad does all of the behind the scenes for you. It breaks it up, it breaks the payments up, it sends them their payment, sends you their payment, everything is direct deposited, all of that. And so that ebook or that checklist that we created, it would be the same thing. We would come over into Gumroad, we would open up this product page, and we would go ahead, put in the name, put in the description of our product. What is it that we want the URL to look like? If we have a custom domain, put in the photos or the book cover on there. This is where the graphics become important, you guys. And so the thumbnail is good. The book cover is in there. You get the product info. The other thing I like about Gumroad is that you have the option to accept pay what you want. So you can allow customers to pay what you want. So one of the people who does that model and is extremely successful at it is LaRussell. He does a pay what you want to his shows, his concerts, his memberships, his content, all of those things. I have personally tested a pay what you want method maybe about 7 years ago when I first got started, and it was extremely successful. A lot of clients would jump on that, especially people who were already interested in things that I were doing, and they just wanted to kind of see how does this work, and all of those things. And so pay what you want, and what you could decide is you can reject the offer. Now on here, if you allow them to pay what you want, they literally can pay what they want. So if they don't, I recommend not just putting your most valuable pieces of things up there and saying just pay what you want, unless you are testing it out, like we talked about, getting people intrigued, interested, joining, things of that nature, and they can just pay what they want to enter, right? Again, all of your settings is the same. Once you have it, you'll hit save changes, and then from there you'll get a link to your product. And they also have a website homepage type thing, as you'll see. So, and this is what it'll look like. So people have given feedback on it. They got 1 rating. They got it as a 5-star. So you got the Scale Your Business. This is how to do a business plan. It goes through all of those steps. It's just a 10-page ebook, and you get it for $5, right? And so it's telling you that. And then if you go here, you'll be able to see all of the products. So this is where your products will live. So right now, you'll see this is the Ultimate Guide to Creating a Winning Business Plan, the members only membership, which is $45 a month. So that's on here. That's able to be offered as an affiliate. Learn how to palette flip. Achieving SMART goals, effective strategies for starting a business. You got the TrueBeats Guide books on here, the business startup workbook that we talked about or that I showed you guys earlier. That's on here. And so another cool thing with Gumroad, another place to market. They have an option on here where, and let me see if I don't know if I showed it on here, but they have an option on here where they can market your products for you. Now they do take a percentage and you get to decide, like the minimum is like 30% or something of that nature. Where you can decide like, hey, they'll share the content for you, but they're going to charge you a fee. It's inside of one of these settings. It's not in these ones. It might be under product. Let's see. And they do have okay, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but it's in here. Yeah, but that's just another way to market. So going back over what are the type of digital products that we can create? We can create a checklist. We can create an ebook. We can create a community. We can also create an online course. Some things with your online course, I also want to just add in there. If you incorporate your online course with your private community, that would be great because you can get a lot of live sessions. People can see you work in real time, how you build things, how you do things of that nature, right? And so with all of that being said, and then what is the thing about the low thing? So let's see. If I go, well, I can't show you their information, but if I go over to show like, okay, the people who have purchased, okay, so now we have 26 people in here. That's 26 people that I can go back and push the membership to, and they can do things with it. So I can funnel them over to a larger community. I can funnel them over to upsell to. I can funnel them over to providing services, things of that nature. And so starting all over, checklists, ebooks, courses, communities, all digital products. How do we create those digital products? Using something like Google Docs, Canva, creating those products, saving those products. Also, recording our videos are a way that we can add valuable information to our online courses. Where do those courses or where does these digital products actually live? We're going to use places like our website, meaning that I should be able to go, which you can. Well, I'm going to say that for something else because I'm going to show you this marketing piece before we wrap up. Which means that they will live on places like my website, Gumroad, Thinkific, things like that. Now, what you are allowed to do is, let's say you have something on Gumroad, or you're like, okay, I'm going to put all my ebooks on Gumroad. You can link those things into your website as well. But ideally, if you have them on all of those places, it's like the people who go to Gumroad for this information will find it on Gumroad. The people who go to your website will find it on your website. And so now, not only do you have these multiple streams of revenue, you have multiple different platforms pushing it out for you as well, and even affiliates. And so here, again, where am I marketing it? So on my website, I only have the 21-day journal. I don't have all of my other ebooks. To get my other ebooks, you do have to go to Gumroad. Or you have to be a member. So, and there's a method to my madness, but we'll talk about that another time, right? So yeah, so where does it live? It lives on your website. It lives on your Gumroad. It lives on your affiliate program, through your affiliate programs, things of that nature. Now, with all of these things, so we created a digital product, we have some value to offer. We have information and value to offer someone. We went ahead and created a digital product with it by creating a checklist, an ebook, a course, an online community, one or a combination of all of those things. So we created those things. We created the graphics around telling people about it. We know that we're going to tell people about it. And we also want to have ourselves in a space to have our POS system set up. So I use both Square and Stripe. And I think both of these are beneficial because with Stripe, I can create payment links. So let's say you have a course or you have an ebook or this digital product and you're like, okay, I just want to test it or I want people to like, see it in real time, whatever the case may be. You can go on and you can create a payment link. So what you would create is a payment link, and in that payment link, you will go ahead and just put that product. So it will say like, let's do it in real time. So we would go payment link and we would literally be able to just put it. So let's say we did ebook. This is what it would be. We want to collect whatever information you want to collect from them. So I'm going to require them to put their phone number. You can limit the number of payments. You got different, if you want to add different custom fields. So let's say you want to collect something more than their phone number, promotional codes, all of that, which you wanted to say, book, pay, donate. So we're going to put pay. We're going to add this as a new product. You can put your description. You can upload the image. So this will be the space where that graphic you just created. Matter of fact, let's do this in real time because I'm going to show you. Let's do this in real time. So let's do this. Let's download that flyer that we talked about with the food. We only need the first page, so we're gonna download. So let's say this was the digital product. So we're downloading that. We're gonna go back over to Stripe, and this can be done in both Stripe, Square, whatever your POS system is. Why is this important, True? Your POS system is gonna be extremely important because how can you accept payments? It doesn't matter which one of those platforms you put it on. Also, in Band, you can accept payments. So like if I go over, so this is another, we already talked about this being a community, but if I wanted to go in and make a post, I can accept the payment. So I can request a payment. So let's say so here it will be ebook. And then I have to choose which members wanted to pay it. That's the only thing within Band. You have to choose who you're sending it to, right? It's like sending an invoice directly through the app. But going back over here. So we just downloaded that graphic. So instead of an ebook, we're going to make it Sunday dinner, right? So we're going to add 1 small pan of lasagna, 1 side salad, 1 cup of cheesecake. And we're going to upload our image. Okay, let's see. What do we just call it? Okay, here we go. All right, so boop, open. Of course, they give you like, more options and more stuff you can do, but we don't need to do all of that. So this is gonna be a one-off versus a reoccurring. How much is gonna be $20. And we're going to add product. and this is what it would look like. So this is what their receipt will look like, or this is what it'll look like when they go to pay for it. So Sunday dinner, $20, one small pan of lasagna, one side salad, one cup of cheesecake. Got the flyer on there, and they got the information where they could do Cash App Pay, Amazon Pay. They could pay with their card, and then now all of this is on there, and I would create the link. I could also do I'm sorry, I should have showed y'all the after payment piece, because that's the same thing. Like the reason why that becomes important is because, like, when you do the after payment message, that's telling them what to do next. Like, all right, I just purchased something from you, or all right, I just did X, Y, and Z, but now what? Now what do you want me to do? Do you want me to follow you? Do you want me to subscribe to you? Do you want me to share it with someone else? Like, what is it that you want me to do? I'll send it to no, I was gonna send it to myself. Don't be reading my text messages. Okay, creative. I'll send it to myself on my own time. But anyways, that's how you do it. Why is all of that important? Because in order to, like, you don't want to set up all of those digital products, give all of this value, give all of this information, put it onto these platforms, and then can't accept payment, because then how are you going to make your money, right? And so once you've done that, once you've went on there, you set up your payment processors, whether you're using Stripe, Square, whatever it is, which I definitely recommend to have a payment processor, then you're ready to go. Like that's it. You're ready to go. And so now when it comes to putting it out there, you're sharing that link. When you're posting your content on social media or any of those things, you're sharing those links out. You are, when you're texting people, you're sharing that. You're starting conversations about what it is that you do. And I would definitely recommend, if you go inside, if you're already in the membership, which if you're watching this video, you are in a membership, then go and look at the resources, because I literally mapped out and built out different marketing strategies for you all to follow, different systems to follow for you to put that information out, whether you're using social media or not. And then the last thing I want to show y'all in this session, because we've been on for a minute, is this piece. Let's automate some of this content. Let's automate some. One of my favorites is saying to go to, what am I trying to say to y'all? Schedule through Facebook Meta. So what you can do with Facebook is you go here, create a post. And let's say you want to add, so listen, we'll add a video. Movies. Let's see. I'm just gonna click on whatever's right here. We're not gonna actually listen to it, but you can do your video. You can do a reel. You can do, oh snap! I accidentally hit it back. But you can do a video. You can do a reel. You can do whatever it is that you want to upload. But the whole purpose of this is showing you how to schedule those things out. So if you follow the storyboards, if you follow the information that has been put in the group for you, one of the things you'll be able to do is follow that framework, follow that system, and then automate that content, right? So you've done the nurturing, you've done the education, you've done the sales, you have your ad copies written out. You know what you're talking about. You know who you're talking to. You have a bunch of maybe B-roll that applies to your business, meaning that if you're in real estate, I might not want to see you doing your B-roll of what you ate for breakfast, but I would love to see the B-roll of the new unit that you went to go and see, right? And so here we're going to customize this for both Facebook and Instagram. That allows me to change what it is that the captions look like here. So here, video title, text, you choose your thumbnail. Then if I want to go back to Instagram, here's the caption that I'm going to put there. And then the next thing is going to be, you're going to hit on your next button. So I'll take you through these things. And we want to schedule it, right? And so you'll schedule it. So Facebook, you want it to go up at this time. Instagram, you want it to go up this time. You get to choose those things. And then once you do that, you'll hit schedule and it'll automatically be scheduled for you. So I just scheduled it. And then it'll take you to your calendar. And your calendar will let you see what's scheduled when, what it's scheduled for, and all of those things. So I have to delete this, but it's still loading. But this full calendar here will show you that. It'll show you what you have scheduled, when you have it scheduled to go out, and so forth. So it just said that it's done. So here you go. So you can see at 10:26 today is going to post both of these videos. Now, I actually don't want it to post neither of these. So we're going to delete. But that's it. And so if you sit down, so let's go back to the process. Because if you sit down and you follow the process and you spend one day or a few days out of the week creating the content. So let's go back and bring it all full circle. I'm true. I have information about stocks. I don't have information about stocks, but okay, I'm true. I have information about business, and I want to teach you this information that I have about business. I want to do this by not just providing services and having you book a strategy call or to book me to provide services for you. I also want to educate you. So what am I going to do? I'm going to create 3 different products. I'm going to create a checklist. I'm going to create, or 4 different products. I'm going to create a checklist. I'm going to create a ebook. Damn. I wasn't paying attention to that part. All right, let's bring it full circle and get us out of here, right? So if I'm true and I want to create, I'm true, I'm a business owner, I provide services, I'm looking for ways to expand my audience as well as go from serving one-on-one to one-to-many, and I'm looking to make more sales and generate leads on actually making those sales. So what does this look like for me? This looks like, first, deciding what information it is that I want to give out, and deciding who it is that I want to give this information to. And then I'm going to go in and create my products. I'm going to create a list of things. I'm going to create a checklist. I might give this away for free or for $10 or less. I'm then going to go in and I'm going to create a ebook. And that ebook is going to be a little bit higher price than that, right? So we're looking at anywhere between $20 to $100, right? $100, less than $100 for sure, because a lot of times, like for an ebook, I'm not paying $100 for an ebook, but honestly I might pay like $97 for an ebook. So anyways, $20 to $100 for that ebook. But anyway, so we got this checklist, we got our ebook, we have our online community, we have our online courses, we created all of these things, we have our POS system, meaning that we're set up to take payments. And so then I went over to my website. We went and created a website. We put our products on Gumroad. We put our products on the online courses like Thinkific or Teachable. We went on and we put our products on like social media. We told people about our products. We word of mouthed our products, all of these things. And so now we're ready for people to start purchasing. Don't forget, when it came to building those courses, the biggest thing that we did there was take our information, outlined it, and put it in place to be executed. And the last thing, we automated. So we took all of these things, spent time creating it just one time, and then automated it for it to all go out on its own timing. So when you talk about, hey, I don't know where to start, I have these ideas, I want to do a course, that's how you do it. Hey, I understand, I created the course, how do I get it out there? That's how you do it. And that's a visual that just goes with it. I hope that y'all understood all of those things. If you did not, because you are a Truby, because you are a member, you know you have the liberty to ask a question. So put your question, whether it's underneath this live workshop, whether it's directly in the band app, or if you sent it to me via DM, and let's get those questions answered. If you were watching from YouTube and you are not a member and you don't get those privilege of asking all of those questions, go ahead over to my website, 500lives.shop, and become a member so that you can get the access to asking the questions. You can get the access to the live presentations, to the screen sharing, to not just hear me talk about this information, but seeing what it looks like. You get to see just the process, the different things I've done for other business owners, things I've done for myself, and so forth. So if you're excited, you have an idea, you're ready to execute that idea, let's go. And if you're already a member, ask me questions if you need to ask me. Let me go over to these comments though, because who said what? I'm not one of them. Hold on. I know that we ain't supposed to be, I'm not supposed to engage with this because I really do be about my business. But I seen somebody come over here and say something, and I composed myself real well because I was in the midst of my training. But who is this? Not block me. No, I'm not going to block you. You just goofy. You real goofy. And I'm not one of them. You are very goofy. I would never block you. Clearly, a single mama didn't teach you nothing. Thank you. I appreciate y'all for calling me beautiful. I appreciate y'all. All right, I'm out of here. I don't understand. And I do, like, this is a informational YouTube. Like, this is what I do. I give information. I'm out. Because y'all gonna make me cut.